Previously on Sins the Hero's Tale, the party departed for South Vernal after their battle against the Destroyer, intent on ending Leanne once and for all. When they arrived, they found Cavalan and his Tree Shadow Hunters, spared from the wrath of the undead. Cavalan led the party to a recently unearthed tomb that had once housed the Destroyer. Upon entering the tomb's sacrificial chamber, they found Leanne, who was unaware of their presence. Working together with Mel, Thalia used her rope dart to drop a massive glowing crystal onto Leanne, crushing her and killing her instantly. Using Leanne's blood on the altar in the chamber, Thalia revealed a secret room in which several of the Destroyer's offerings were held. Strangest of them all was a mysterious black iron box, which Thalia insisted on holding onto. Their task complete, the party boarded the Ivy and began making their way back to League City. Okay.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, third time's the charm after a couple of fucked up recordings. So you guys have already watched Sebastian and the deckhands load the giant glowing crystal onto the deck. It's right in the center. Thalia, you're in your room staring at your magical iron chest. Okazad, you're what do you say, on the bow of the ship crying, or are you doing it in your room?
No, just keeping it to myself.
Okay, then yeah, you're
not necessarily crying, or just kind of staying to himself.
Yeah, then
slightly.
Yeah, you're basically fucking off. You don't want to talk to anybody right now.
No, definitely don't.
Because the elf made fun.
Got it.
Okay, so there's a decent south wind blowing, so you guys are making a fairly decent way back to the North Island. But about an hour and a half into your voyage, I want to say around here, this little archipelago right beneath the V, you bump into the League's galleon, the Harbinger, and Evelier's galleon, the NS Pursuit, sailing towards the South Island.
Yeah, Okazad definitely takes another vein and just shouts to Sebastian, slow the ship down.
At once, well, technically, that's Jura's job, commanding the deckhands.
Yep. Okay, fine. Yeah,
Jura, slow the ship down.
Yeah, Sebastian is little more than a glorified housekeeper that can sling magic.
Everyone.
That doesn't mean I still don't like keeping him as right-hand man.
Slow the ship down.
As you say that, the crew basically cuts all the sails and goes to dead mast. And as you watch the Harbinger and the NS Pursuit, they seem to do the same. And as you're basically sailing, the Ivy is sailing directly in between the two galleons.
Yeah, I figured as much.
And
I'm just gonna shout to the other two, the two below deck, to just get up here.
Well, as you're doing that, League looks over. He's at the helm of his own ship, and he walks over to the guardrail facing you. What's going on, lad?
We're
already done back there. We're heading back to you guys over back in North Vernal.
You finished already?
Yeah, you see the giant crystal on deck? We kind of, our little Kitsune friend dropped it on Leanne.
Thalia did.
Yep.
Yeah, she's kind of in a bunch of itty-bitty little pieces in a mess of blood.
Evelier hears this now, and now she's leaning over her side. Well, that's unexpected, but not unwelcome news.
So, she's
Yeah,
dead.
so we won't be needing you.
Calm it down, Fox Lady.
What she means to say is that we can go back to port and discuss things.
No, Evelier doesn't necessarily, flinch when you say that, but you do see her kind of, stand a little straighter up. And she kind of, not really furrows her brow, but actually, yeah, kind of furrows her brow and goes, well, I didn't suppose I would have wanted to waste the cannonballs anyway.
Now I'm just shaking my head at this.
I'm just smirking.
Pitching the bridge with my nose.
Either way, we should probably head back to port, celebrate, and can figure out what to do with this giant crystal.
At least we saved you two half the voyage.
Yes, I agree. Well, you've saved them the last third of the voyage. The League nods. Yes, I agree. Soto, set a course back to North Vernal. Right away, sir.
Jura, get these sails moving.
Men, get the sails moving.
Davy, hop to at this instant. Yes, ma'am. And all three ships start heading back to League City. and because a brig is a little faster than a galleon, I believe, you guys would get there just a little bit before them.
Yeah.
Also, they had to turn around.
Yeah, they had to turn around, you guys kept on heading straight, so I'm gonna say, like, after you hit the dock in League City, it takes them maybe 45 minutes to follow suit and get all tied up and have everybody off.
I hope we have somebody already unloading this thing, unless we're taking it back to the mainland.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, we would have unloaded that by the time they were done.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
probably
but
be, like,
by
me
the time-
working with
By
that.
the time the galleon is off, Sebastian has already helped the deckhands unload it, and they're going to talk to Big Lou about having it appraised for value.
I'm also going
Bit
to,
of money.
and while we're also doing that, I'm actually going to go head over to, was it Big Lou who did jewelry?
Yeah, Big Lou had the
Okay.
jewelry store.
Yeah, okay, never mind then, yeah.
Yeah, so Big Lou is currently working on appraising the crystal for value. And you notice that all the other shops do not seem to be open at the moment.
I guess they either closed down or just having more difficulty since the invasion.
Or they were destroyed, yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean, a couple of them have a couple of holes dinged in them, like a couple of singe marks from magic, and there are several spots as you look down the beach where it looks like shit under the sand just blew up.
Yeah, I'm just saying like the other people are just going to be busy with other things.
Well, they all seem to, like, the town appears, like, you don't see any bodies, there just doesn't seem to be anybody out right now that you can see.
Alright then.
And as you walk a little up the street, like towards where the rolling hitch is, the inn's lights are on, and there seems to be a lot of chatter coming from inside.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I thought you were at Big Lou's.
Well, no, I was thinking about going there, but if Sebastian's already been talking with Big Lou about getting it appraised, I'm kind of not needed.
Yeah, Sebastian's got you covered. He knows exactly why you brought the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Money, 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 money.
That's going to be going to most of the crew, I hope you know.
You mean it's going to be split equally among us? Yes.
I'm not even talking about like us specifically. I'm talking about all the guys who are like doing all the hard work around the ship.
So,
Whoa, why are we paying them?
I'm actually going to time out there right there, Drago. Just so you know, a skilled labor like theirs is like a silver piece a day.
Because technically, at the moment, they are kind of on League's payroll.
That too.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're not paying them.
Fair enough
But-
then. I wasn't
on most
aware of the
things,
league's payroll.
They would be paid like a silver per day because they are considered skilled workers.
Yeah, they deal in silver and copper pieces, not gold.
Well, I mean, like not all at once, mind you.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, like most people don't get paid gold.
Yeah, anywho.
But yeah.
So yeah, Charya, and I'm assuming eventually by extension everyone else, you walk into the rolling hitch, and basically there's a fucking party going on in here. Like pirates, Navy sailors, everybody who was involved in the battle are basically just kicking back now, like having drinks, enjoying some food.
Alright.
I grabbed some rum.
Makes you wonder, just looking at this, why they don't get along more often.
It's at this
Differing
point,
ideals, really, I would say, is the reason.
I understand that, but I mean, this is basically just what Okaza's going through. It went in his head.
and at this point, Charya is actually going to jump upon the nearest table and go, "It's over! We have defeated the necromancer. We have
Like
all
people on both sides are like holding up their mugs and glasses and shit and just cheering, and then they go right back to eating and drinking.
He's like, can I
Yeah.
use a strength check to pick him up off the table? Or pick her
Please.
up off the table? Oh,
I
it's-
think you
that's a
failed,
save.
though.
That's a save.
Yeah, I was gonna say use your strength check.
That's
Oh
definitely a
god!
fail.
Wow.
She picks me up.
How do you?
Okay, so
Alright.
Zach, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and roll me 1d100, por favor.
I swear to God, if you suplex me,
I'd like to
No,
note
this is
that
bad
Thalia
shit
magically
that's
has a thing of
happened.
rum in her hand.
69.
Oh.
Perfect number.
That's,
not good.
it's funny you should mention that.
Oh
As you go to pick up Charya, you for whatever reason, you think that elves have a lower center of gravity, so you try to get her by the ankles, and as you go to lift up, she basically loses her balance and falls on top of you off the table, and you both tumble.
Ooh, how lewd.
I'd like to roll a
Dexterity save?
It would be dexterity. 'Cause you're,
yeah,
like,
I
rolling.
would like to. Actually, you know what? I'd like to roll performance to make it look like this was all on purpose.
Ooh,
Okay, go for it.
it's clever, MJ.
Actually, that'd probably be deception.
No, I think it's both. They're either or.
Yeah,
Okay.
just performance would probably be the best play off here.
Oh god.
Nope.
No, it gets even worse.
Unfortunately, if only it was advantage, that would have been
You
amazing.
are basically two characters in the cheesiest Notice Me Senpai high school anime right now. Okay, 48's not too bad.
Oh no. This is not the lewdness I needed.
So what happened because of this roll?
Basically, like, pretty much piggybacking off of what Jura did, is Thalia, or Charia rather, falls off the table, and it's basically like that stereotypical anime thing where one character, like, unintentionally straddles another.
Get
This
off
is
me.
very lewd. She's going to stay together for a second. She's kind of going, not exactly what I meant to do.
Ahem.
Please get off.
And then get up off of him and help him up.
Mistakes are made here. That is okay.
We don't talk about this again.
No.
Like, Reese, now carrying, like, 2 plates of food, like, stops to watch all this, and she shakes her head and just goes, just go to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you sit, you notice both Reese and a massive Minotaur also carrying plates, constantly running to and from the kitchen.
Well, they all seem busy.
Well, yeah, there's like 100 people in here at least.
Yeah, there's a fuck ton of people here.
Plus us now, who are just being jackasses.
We're actually just causing more problems.
Well, you two specifically.
And as you guys start getting cozy, Thalia, I assume you sit down and start sipping at your rum.
I already said 3 times that, like, rum just magically appeared in my hand, and I'm just starting to drink already.
Yeah, she was not involved in that at all.
I've said it multiple times now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you've started your day drinking already.
Yeah. As soon as I saw there was alcohol, I ignored them and went straight for the alcohol.
Okay, then as you guys start getting comfy, this is when, like, this would be around the time that League and Evelier, and you notice Sebastian as well, they all come back.
Welcome back.
So it is at this point that I'm going to give you guys, if you want, 2 conversations. Pretty much your entire crew is here, all of your, like, the people you've been traveling with, Galena is here.
Roll initiative to see who gets to talk first to people.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are you
I
cheering about
volunteer to
being
go
last?
last.
Because
What was
this
that,
means
AJ?
I volunteer to go last.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess
I'm busy drinking, so
Okay, yeah, that works.
that gives me time to think of who I'm talking to.
That's okay with me. Okay, so Jura, you're up first.
Alright, I want to talk to Mel. Wait, real quick, are we gonna talk like 2 people in a row, or are we just gonna do one and then everyone else?
It's 2 people, and then like, depending on certain things that you did during this chapter, other people may approach you asking to talk to you. And I know League is definitely going to want to have a word with each of you, but that sort of thing does not count against the 2 that you choose.
No, what I mean was, are we gonna talk to 2 of them one immediately after the other, or are we gonna go, me then?
Probably should go like down the line and then back up again.
Yeah, I think. All right, we'll do that.
Okay, so yeah, we'll
Just
go
so-
down the line.
So not everyone's waiting forever.
Yeah.
So first I'll talk to Mel.
Okay, talking to Mel. Let me cut that one. Okay, so you find Mel sitting, not necessarily alone because of how crowded this place is, but you see her in one of the tables in the corner with her chair leaned back in the corner, and she just seems to be scanning the crowd, like her eyes are flitting back and forth, just kind of eyeing everybody up.
Not a fan of the party.
Just force of habit.
Keeping watch. I understand.
Exactly. I enjoy seeing
pretty much everything that goes on in places like this whenever I attend one.
How'd you enjoy seeing the blood splatter?
That was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
I tried to help, but my hand slipped, you know?
Trust me, we all have bad days.
She says, remembering the time she dropped Okazad's dagger in the water.
How was your hand, by the way?
Much better. That healing dagger works on painful joints as well.
Ah. Well, that's very good to know. Also, I still don't get how that works.
Neither do I, but I know it does.
That's all I would need to know.
Yeah, when I bought it from Mayor, he said that he just makes a bunch of stuff and then he takes it to Vizzini and lets Vizzini get creative with it.
Interesting.
So basically, what she's explaining is the blacksmith takes everything he makes to the magic shop, and the magic shop owner just puts whatever enchantment he fucking feels like on the items.
I would explain my hammer. Well, good to know. He does good work, as you might have seen with my hammer before.
Your hammer, my dagger. I don't know if he made the light daggers, though. I'm pretty sure those were somebody else.
Doesn't really matter. Anyway, so what are you planning to do now that we're done here?
Well, if you guys were headed that way, I did have some business in Gengren that I need to handle.
What did you need to do there?
There's somebody I need to meet. It's nothing overly urgent, but the sooner I get it done and over with, the better.
Well, I'll talk to the crew, maybe we can do that, but I got an arena to go to, too.
She perks her ears up.
You mean the one in Rowan-Aster?
Yes.
Lofty goals.
Well, you haven't been here, but I've arm wrestled a few of the people and stolen some shoes.
Well, arm wrestling is one thing, but the Rowan-Aster Arena is something completely different.
Ooh, do tell.
Like, how best to describe, and this is like what I'm trying to convey through her. You said you watch Hunter x Hunter, right?
Oh, yes.
You know the Heavens Arena, the
So
tower?
it's basically like that.
It's basically like that. Like, anybody who wants to be anybody gathers in Rowan-Aster at that arena.
Good to know. Chris, you can just say that me and her are on that conversation for a bit and lead into the next person.
Okay. Which I believe is Okazad?
Yeah, he's just gonna head outside and just like try to clear his head. If anyone follows him, that's their choice.
No, it seems like the party is all inside. There doesn't seem to be anybody really hanging out outside.
Yeah, he's just gonna try to just be to himself for now.
I don't want to completely phone this in, so let's roll the dice. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
How lame, Deadlock. Are you still depressed?
Hey, he's still not over. He at least just wants to clear his head a bit more.
Okay, then let me do this just to see if anybody comes outside. R1D4.
No one's coming outside.
No. So a 1, that is... Okay, so you see Nikit kind of leaning back against the inn, arms crossed, just kind of basking in the afternoon light.
Makes sense. I believe that he would do that.
Keith?
Hello, Captain.
Figured you would be spending your time in there.
Oh, I spent plenty of time around drunken pirates already.
Grew sick of it relatively quick.
The what?
Grew sick of it.
Well, it's not that I'm sick of it, but we just got done with quite the ordeal, and taking in some afternoon sunlight on a day like this makes shit that we've been through kind of worth it, don't you think?
Amen.
Yeah, there will be plenty of time for partying later, but I'm in no hurry to get a head start on my drinking.
Heard they got some pretty good stuff in there. You might at least want to sneak out with one.
Yes, I'm under the impression that Reese and Beef Stew are phenomenal cooks.
And I'm pretty sure I can attest to that.
So I noticed you had a bit of a interesting altercation on the way back.
Do you really want to talk about this? Really?
Well, if the crew doesn't have some sort of answer, they're going to assume that you've been emasculated in front of everyone.
I'm pretty sure you already know what it is, because apparently you're on thin ice for this as well.
Like, how do you mean he's on thin ice?
That dark elf Charya? She heard our conversation.
Oh. Well, I make no secret of the fact that I work for Captain Gar.
Well, she's definitely listening to everyone around there, whether they want them to or not. I don't know about you, but I smell snake in the grass.
As do I, but without knowing her true motives, I'm not just going to point fingers. That's the sort of thing that can get you killed.
True, but that is something we shouldn't just ignore either.
Perhaps not. But until she makes a move, there's not a whole lot we can do without proper evidence.
No, there really isn't.
And besides, mutinies aboard pirate vessels are typically put to a vote.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Agreed. Though, if I may be so bold, Captain, I found that honesty is a pretty fair way to keep blackmail at a pleasant minimum.
I'll make sure to keep that in.
That's just speaking from experience. I wear pretty much all of my dirty laundry on my sleeve, so if anyone tries to bring me up on anything, it's not as intimidating as it would be for you.
True, but there are some things that we'd rather not talk about.
I suppose I can understand that, given our current location.
And company is a bit divisive.
Yes, I wouldn't be proud preaching anything from the rooftops as long as Evalier and her navy goons are around.
Strange, isn't it? Everyone here just camaraderie with each other as if they were never enemies. And yet, in a few days, they'll be ready to just fight over the fucking death over each other.
Yes, but as I'm aware, Evalier is one of the more level-headed of the High Commodores. It's no surprise that she would throw in with League over a shared threat.
Shared threat or not, this is only a temporary truce.
Of course, she's made no effort to hide that fact. I'm just glad it was her and not somebody like, Colewall, maybe?
That would be bloody then.
Extremely. That man's dedication is admirable, but it wouldn't spell much other than death for us.
Among other things.
So what about you? Why aren't you inside partying with the rest of them?
Have we not already talked about this?
Well, he gave you his reason. You just kind of walked outside and saw him there.
Yeah, but but basically that's what I'm telling him. Like, he probably should have I've already told him that, basically.
Oh, you're basically conveying that you're out there for the same reason he is?
That, and I'm just trying to clear my head
He's
from
still
that whole,
embarrassed.
incident.
I suppose I can understand that. Well then, shall I leave you to your thoughts?
Technically, you were out here first. Although I do
True.
hear they still have some good drinks there in there that you at least won't get.
Then I'll save you a bottle, Captain.
Please do.
And he turns to walk inside.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue just relaxing out here for a bit.
All right.
What an interesting interaction that was.
Then next up, Charia.
In that case, You know what? I'm going out to talk to Okusad.
Ooh, interesting.
This is not what I foresaw.
Yeah, me either. Do I actually have Okazad's, what I picked as your conversation music on here?
I thought you were gonna say, do I have Okasad's script here for him?
Do I have Okusad's
I hope you don't have my script!
Nah, scripts are for chumps. Let me find, where
And
is
then he's-
Dragon and Toast?
You say that, but you screwed up on it twice earlier in the beginning.
Listen, the first time I didn't write anything down, the second time I had completely forgotten one of my own footnotes. I'm human, I'm allowed to fuck up sometimes.
So wouldn't that make you a chump, though, for having the script in the first place?
No, because trust me, when you get like a bunch of characters and a bunch of plots all going on at once, it gets really fucking tough to keep track of everything.
Especially
I'm
'cause
just saying,
you
you're
don't
the
know
one who
you-
said it, not me.
Especially because when you don't know who's talking to.
Yeah, I had no. Okay, so let's this.
To be fair,
Yeah.
though, I had no idea who MJ would want to talk to.
To be fair, neither did I. I just kind of just wanted to be by myself. I had no intentions of speaking to the key.
I didn't
Yeah,
either.
so
That was
that
literally a dice roll.
That makes for boring content.
Okay, so go for it.
You know, Chari is gonna step outside with 2 mugs of one of the better ales, not top line stuff, but, celebratory juice, we shall call it.
Yeah.
I swear to God, don't movie him.
I don't have any of those on
MJ,
here,
do not be the bard that fucks the dragon today.
That's for later.
Don't
Not today. And, Chari's just gonna walk out and she's gonna push one into Okazad's chest, like, here.
I just look down and just take a glance to him, like, elf.
Captain.
I came out here to get some peace and quiet. May I ask what this is about?
Besides that, I just wanted to talk.
I just glance at him like I don't
And
trust
on
him.
top of that, you can have... On top of that, I thought you might like a drink. No,
I'm
I
saving
didn't
it for
poison
my-
you or whatever you think I did. Don't have any of my poisoner's kit anymore. That shit broke.
No, I doubt
Don't
you'd
mess
try
with that.
something like that this early.
To be honest, I'm not even out to kill you.
Perhaps not now.
No, I'm not getting paid for it, and on top of that, killing you puts a bad look on League, who I'm trying to get work with.
Still, you can't expect me to just take what you've been doing lately with all the snooping as anything but good
Snooping
fun.
that, Quartermaster's supposed to make sure the ship's all tip and tidy, make sure there's no threats to the crew.
Spying on your captain, though?
To be fair, I still don't know you. We've only been working together for a month, if even.
Still, that silver tongue of yours is quite dangerous itself.
Oh, yes. But I use it in such a way that gets us, and more importantly myself, out of problems. You can understand why I was using my tongue against you in this case. I don't know you. We voted you
Could
as
you,
captain.
just pause for 1 second. AJ,
Pause it.
you're not doing anything right now, right?
What?
You're not doing anything right now?
Like real world or in game?
Yeah,
I said real world or in game.
real world.
No. Why was that?
Can you check Kari's face? She's under the stools. It looks like she may have got some lily pollen on her face.
Oh crap! Hang on, yeah.
We interrupt this conversation about seriousness to talk about pets.
Well, it actually is pretty serious because lilies are kind of a big deal for cats.
Yeah.
Okay, you
But-
two can continue. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's one thing knowing things about your crew members, and then they're spouting it out of nowhere like they had no consent over.
That's because I wanted to gauge your response.
Yeah,
Someone
sickness
who's
sick-
tied that tightly around a pirate lord's finger. Do you really think that doesn't worry some people? Especially one who's not the most charitable or nice, shall we say, and I think you know that from personal experience.
and I'm supposed to
Someone
take
like
the
that.
and I'm supposed to take the word on charitable from the guy who literally tried to rob us blind.
The woman.
The woman, yeah,
Woman. Yes, because there's a difference.
is
and there
there.
really is. Yes. I attempted to take some gold. Nothing more to line my pockets a little bit more. Especially because as quartermaster our funds currently under our under League is more than enough. Eventually the quartermaster will need more funds in order to keep whatever ship we're using running.
There's your personal funds, and then there's the war chest.
Yes. We currently have 0 in the war chest, unless we consider my personal funds, and then we have 117 gold.
We do not, and I believe that is what the luminous stones were for.
Exactly. Now, the biggest thing I worry about with you is you're not ready to captain. The moment a strong situation like what I did comes up, you're going to break under pressure, and you're going to get us all killed. As someone who's been stuck under someone's thumb for a very long time, I don't know if you're able to captain. Do you get where I'm going with this? Now, me, I can't say that I'm ready, that I'm a good captain. I have no experience with it. Merely I am... Well, to share a little bit of my backstory, I'm merely an assassin for a house who currently no longer exists. I'm out for revenge. That's all.
What's the question?
There was no question.
I think they were talking.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can I be heard?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
So
No,
that's
you
it
see-
for
No,
yours.
we're still going.
We were still in the middle of conversation.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. You can see where I stand on this now. I pulled that out to specifically make sure you were not going to crack and or do something stupid. It's why I didn't fight back. It's why I left it as it was, and I wanted to also judge your ability to handle someone trying to emasculate you, the crew.
There's a difference between a random person trying to do that and then one of your own crewmates doing it.
To be fair, we are really just random people to each other currently. We barely know each other. We barely know anything about each other is the biggest problem. On top of that, our goal is complete. We don't know if we're going to be working together anymore.
At this point, I figured we were just going to disband.
You cut out, Drago.
At this point, I figured we were just going to disband after this. We were going to head to the mainland and then head our separate ways once again, never see each other.
This is a possibility, but I have a better suggestion.
He just turns to
I
him.
don't care which one of us leads. I don't care which one of us does. The one thing I want to make sure is whoever leads the crew knows what they're doing. My goal currently is to establish myself in a position of power amongst the great world powers. There is room enough for an extra pirate lord to come along.
Is there, though?
Of course, as long as one plays by the rules, there's always room for more.
Actually, Okazad, roll a history check.
I do not have good stuff with it, but I hope that does.
Well, technically, it's with advantage because it's about pirates. So yeah, with a 14, you understand that at any given time, like since there were pirate lords, there have only ever been 8 of them. And usually the only way that one is replaced is if a current one dies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell them that right away. With her right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how things work. For as long as there have been pirate lords, there have only ever been 8. The only time there have been the only time one takes up the mantle is when another one passes.
Exactly.
So what you're talking about is you're expecting one of them to be offed one way or another.
Well, yes, I do expect that in the line of profession that is a pirate lord, dangers do come around, and death is always a possibility. And I do think I know who I'd like to wage war against eventually. And I think you will know my choice and maybe harbor some resentment to them.
Ooh.
Okazad is drawing a blank at the moment.
You know, she's gonna sigh, and she's gonna be your mother. She says with the biggest air quotes possible.
Now I'm getting extra defensive.
You probably don't like her. You were treated as merely a pet and a toy. When you were doing good and such, she'd praise you. If you weren't, well, she knew she could toss you to the side at any point. It's a very cushy lifestyle if you did good. It's a very cushy lifestyle if you did what she wanted when she wanted. But yet, you're out here seeking freedom, from what I can assume. Was that... Did the mark hit somewhere close?
Not quite.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what. I'll share a bit more with you, on one condition.
What might that be?
You said you used to work for a house, and you were trying to get revenge for their lack thereof them. Yes?
You'd like to know a little more about that.
I find it strange that you're all the way out here at the open seas. Granted, ignoring the whole shipwreck thing, that you're all the way out here trying to move outward by sea. When you honestly, I figured an assassin like you going for revenge would have stuck to land going after them that way. Someone more followable.
Well, I'll give you this. At least for now. When the entirety of the matriarchal structure decides that has been fooled into thinking that the house you work for is traitors looking to destroy the entire Underdark, just to help some dwarves or surface dwellers, I don't know the full scheme that was told.
So what you're saying is you're on the run?
To a degree. They do think they've killed me, at least current. Or at least someone who looks like me. I don't feel any qualms about sending that poor soul to whatever horrible torture they went to. But it gives me a chance to get revenge, and I need to build a power base to get said revenge. One person can't fight an entire house's worth, no matter how skilled they are.
Fair enough, but drawing a power base could draw unnecessary attention to you. Said people might come looking for you before you're ready.
Exactly. Why do you think I'm out here in the middle of the ocean?
By a complete accident because we got shipwrecked?
Partially. Partially also because the Underdark has the Underdark... Oh, the tunnels aren't exactly... They don't go under the ocean that much. Turns out flooding is a very bad concern if one of them opens up a hole into the ocean and, oh hey, the entire Underdark has been washed away.
He chuckles at that.
So, I offer a truce of sorts. You and me work together to get a power base going. You help me with what I need to get my revenge, and I help you with whatever problems you may have had with the woman who thinks she owned you.
Well, I suppose I might as well clear this confusion up with you. Yes, I was technically raised as a pet by her, but it was through that hard work that I ended up becoming a fully fledged member of her crew. The reason I'm out here? Well, I'm sure you've noticed that pirate activity has been... not pirate...
Navy activity.
Navy activity has been very much on the rise lately. Have you not?
Of course, it's kind of hard to notice the big military galleons.
It's much more noticeable up in the north if you've been there. To put it mildly, something's going down, but nobody's really aware of what. I'm kind of out here trying to figure out that what. I'm just a relaying messenger as a scout in a way.
But do you really want to work for her?
Yes.
You would rather play as someone else's puppet than take the strings for yourself. Is that true?
You seem to not grasp what's going on here then, if that is the case.
To be honest, having been with the family that I was with, the house that I served from my birth, I served them honorably because they gave me every right that they had. There was no, oh, you're less than us. You do not get this until you do this. from the way it sounds, at least to me, she is using you to whatever ends she can get out of you, and then she'll get rid of you.
Enjoyment would be the term you're looking for. I don't know if you know much about her, but she finds a whole bunch of
yes.
things that fancy her interest from one thing to another.
And how many of those things stay around after they've lost her interest?
I can tell you right now, I have. I'm no longer that. I don't think you can tell, but I'm no longer that cute, adorable lizard that hatched in the little bit of her hole.
But at the same time, you're still something that is interesting because you keep growing. What if you were to stop growing or have a change of thought? How quickly do you think she would go to throw you away? Or worse?
I just like shaking my head and like disapproving.
Do you really want to be in that situation where you give her what she wants and she turns around and says, "Thank you for all of your hard work. Leave now." And she casts you away. Do you want to ever worry about being in that position? Because
You're
right
asking
now,
me to commit treason, is what you're
I'm
currently asking.
asking you to make your own choice for once.
This was my choice to come out here. Nobody knew what was going on, and nobody even offered me to go. I chose to come out here. This gauntlet you see on my arm right here, that was a parting gift. That was to wish the best of luck out here.
I would imagine that. Which, by the way, Chris, at this point, I'm going to use Detect Magic on Drago.
Okay, roll it.
It's actually, no, just kind of like...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's just a passive spell.
Yep.
On his gauntlet, you said?
Just himself, but yeah, his gauntlet, too. Because it's like a cone.
I mean, you can tell that, like, as with all sorcerers, he's got some kind of inborn magical prowess.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it seems to almost channel itself. Like, you see it almost like like an aura circulating around him, and it all seems to converge on his, I believe it's your right hand, Okazad?
Yes.
Yeah, it all seems to converge on his right hand. And basically the gauntlet is his arcane focus. It's what allows him to cast spells almost free of charge.
I'm actually going to roll Arcana to see if there's any other more hidden effects that he might not know about. You know, scrying, that stuff. You know.
With a 13, no, it just looks like an arcane focus.
She dismisses the smell. She stops concentrating the spell and shrugs, still at this point offering him the mug of ale. If that's if that's the way you wish to live, then I cannot blame you for wanting such a cushy lifestyle.
I take the mug and just continue speaking. It is anything but cushy at this point. It's a lot of hard work to be a part of the crew. Honestly, out here being on my own, being a captain, no less, a lot to take in pretty quickly.
Do you at least enjoy being captain? Do you enjoy having other people's lives in your hands?
I'm still debating on that myself.
Because under her, I don't imagine she'd give you that chance.
No, she would not. I just take a swig.
Alright, I need you to make a constitution... No, joking. So you take a 12d20 of Yeah, that's right. No. But no,
You gonna have enough fake outs here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are you damaging him or are you not?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Now Charia takes a sip of her mug and
And
shrugs.
she takes the damage.
Yes. Because I expected him to want to switch the mugs. It's a Princess Bride level shit in here.
As Okazad walks back in, they were both poisoned, but I've developed an immunity.
But
How many? I actually want to forget. How many times did they switch it? Like, how long did that go on?
He only switched it the one time, but Wesley spiked both drinks.
yeah, and it was like 4 minutes long or something of them.
Yeah, because Vizzini kept trying to ramble about Wesley's reasoning.
But with this, Charia takes a sip from her mug and leans against the wall of the tavern and goes, "You might want to make your choice sooner or later. Because there's only so much freedom that you can get under someone else." Then she heads inside.
Yeah, I think he's had enough fresh air for now. He's gonna head inside as well.
Okay, so that's it for you guys.
For now.
Okay. Then I believe.
Eddie's probably screaming on the inside, like, fuck.
Okay, so Thalia.
My turn now?
Yeah, your turn. Who do you want to talk to?
Is Martivir here?
Yeah, Martivir's there.
That reminds
And
me,
you
I don't
said
think
she-
every...
What is
He
that?
said she knows a lot about League, right?
Yeah, like if anyone in this place knows about League, it would probably be her.
Okay, then I'll talk to her.
Okay.
I forget, which one was Martivir again?
She was the mage who you guys first met when you showed up.
Ah, that is correct. Have not
Okay,
seen
so
her in a while.
Yeah, you see Martivir sitting at a table, like next to a bunch of the people from that portrait of League and his crew, but like at the table beside them, and she is actually sitting by herself.
Okay.
And she
Then I
notices
walk
as you
up to her.
she notices as you approach.
Oh, Thalia. Hello, dear.
Hey, Martivir.
What's on your mind?
You know a lot about League, right? I'd like to learn some more.
Ah, I see. I think, given the way you cast glances his way, we're both comfortable calling him Isaac.
Isaac. Alright. Just how well do you know him?
Oh, I know him extremely well. I helped raise him.
Wait, what? You raised him?
Helped raise him. I was a friend of his father's.
Not what I would have guessed. You look younger than him.
As do you, dear fox.
True.
If I may be so bold, as a kitsune, you understand that many things in this world are not as they appear.
Speaking from experience?
I'm rambling, dear, as I'm wont to do. I confess I have quite a weakness for conversation.
Yeah, I really don't.
No, I suppose not. But I digress. You're not here to talk about me. You're a young lady on a mission. What exactly would you like to know about Isaac?
I don't know. What is he like? Am I being too forward hanging on him? Would he ever be willing to be with someone in the future?
Isaac doesn't care that you're kitsune, dear. Trust me, he's been around so many different kinds of people since he was a boy. I'm not entirely sure the concept of race even crosses his brain anymore. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think there's a more open-minded human in all Loviena.
Well, that's good then.
As for hanging all over him, honestly, he seems to enjoy the attention and candor.
Well, that seemed to be the case, but I wanted to make sure.
Because of his position, most people keep their safe distance from Isaac. Most who do speak to him do so formally. I believe you've been a breath of fresh sea air that the familiarity of his crew simply can't provide after all these years.
So I'm what? New and exciting?
It goes beyond that. By the look in your eye after he told you his name, you knew exactly who he was. What he was. Yet you crossed that boundary with no hesitation, no fear of consequence. You represent the candid honesty that he forsook the Navy itself to pursue.
Well, I have been living a little selfishly lately, acting on whatever I want in the moment.
So you're worried if a pirate would think less of you for taking what you want, when you want? On the contrary, I believe he finds your tendencies quite lovely.
Well, that's good. You know, between you and me, I like certain things.
Well, that's not unusual. I've met many kitsune with similar inclinations. Speaking of which, I see you took some souvenirs from your pursuit of the necromancer.
And she glances down at your staves.
Yeah, they were in the tomb with some priests.
Interesting.
Oh, could I get her to look at the staffs? I haven't gotten to look at.
Oh, you mean like detect magic?
Yeah,
Or identify, rather?
yeah.
Then yeah, I mean...
So I could ask. Yeah, I could ask her about that.
Okay, so then yeah, go ahead and ask her.
Okay, so you know a lot about magic and all that.
I dabble, yes.
So can you tell me what these staffs do? I don't want to just try it out and then make something explode or something like that. I don't know.
I'd be happy to, dear. Just give me a moment.
So what she does is she places her hand on...
Let's do acid.
Acid? Okay. So she places her hand on the staff, and you see the what? Oh yeah, okay. And you see the sapphire in her forehead glow a little bit as she closes her eyes.
It seems your staff here was imbued with its abilities through a blood ritual a long time ago. And if I'm reading it correctly, it can project a widespread wave of acid over a small area a short distance away from the user. It looks like it can do this 3 times, and its charges restore with the rising sun.
That sounds cool. I'm guessing the other one does the same thing? Just with fire?
She touches the fire staff, and same thing, she closes her eyes. You see the sapphire glow a little bit.
Yes, it would appear that way. Same origins, same magic, except this one projects a wave of fire.
Nice.
These are quite a find, actually. Never mind the worth of their age and heritage, most mages would jump at a chance to get their hands on a staff with an imbued spell.
Someone like you?
Oh no, dear. I have my own staff. It's called Ganjul, and I'm quite taken with it.
Is she even wearing the staff?
You don't see it on her, no.
I didn't think so, not from the picture that you showed. So what is it, invisible?
Hidden, yes, but not invisible.
She holds her right hand up to you, and you hear her whisper something. And in this explosion, well, not really explosion, but this outflaring of bright, almost sky blue light, this wooden staff with a pale white crystal on the top just appears in her hand.
Oh, what the hell?
How did you do that, and can I do it?
I'm magic, dear, remember?
No. There's plenty of other magic people around here.
Oh, because I just sees this in the distance. Can I learn that, please?
Yeah, like, why can you do that?
Also, please don't do that again. It's too bright.
Only a fool stands in the way of a kitsune's thirst for knowledge. Very well, look here.
And she holds up her right hand. You notice on her right middle finger, there's a silver... It almost looks like a bunch of vines in the form of a silver ring kind of twisting around her finger.
That's pretty. So does it summon stuff?
You're half right. Are you familiar with a magical item called a bag of holding?
And roll an Arcana check to see if you are.
Probably not.
Yeah, with an 8, unfortunately, you are not. So basically, she goes on to explain that a bag of holding is something that can hold and transport various items in basically a pocket space.
So the bag creates
Oh.
a magical the bag creates a magical space that can accommodate many things for convenience of storage and transport. This ring performs a similar function.
So wait, you have a ring that has like a pocket dimension inside it that you can store whatever you want to without consequence?
More or less. However, there are a few key differences. For starters, there are several bags of holding in the world, where, to my knowledge, only 2 of these rings have ever been found by mortals. In addition, and while a large bag of holding has a limit to how much it can contain, the 2 rings have no such limit and can contain a virtually infinite number of items.
Wait. So you actually can grab whatever you want, whenever you want, and pocket it without having to carry any of it?
That's more or less it, yes. Though, if I'm honest, I only ever use it for a gondole and a few daggers.
Huh. So, would you be willing to part with it?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. This ring was a gift from Isaac. I'm not sure I could live with myself if it was lost or damaged.
Oh, well, I guess I can understand how important that is to you from him. But if you're willing to let me borrow it, I won't lose it.
Okay, so persuasion with advantage, because she knows that League trusts you.
Oh,
Ha!
With a nat 20.
snap.
Okay. Okay.
Give me that.
I promised I'd give it back to Isaac one day, so I can't just give it over. But I can lend it to you. I'll be needing it back at some point.
Of course.
Then I suppose there's no harm in letting you hold on to it for a while. But if I'm going to do that, there are a couple of other things.
Like you need to take your stuff out.
Oh no, that's actually what I was about to mention. Anything I've placed in the ring, you won't be able to touch. Likewise, I can't remove anything you've stored. The ring creates a separate pocket dimension for each person who wears it, and each person can only access their own space.
Well, that's good because I don't want anybody touching my shit.
Well, now that I think about it, if you have children, they'd be able to remove things you've stored, but descendants are the only exception to the rule.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
Then let me tell you the final little bit about it before I hand it over. These rings work on a system of key phrases to store and remove items from their pocket dimensions.
I have to come up with a phrase.
Exactly. When you first wear the ring, I remember it as a voice in my head speaking to me. It asked what word or phrase I wished to use to store items, and when I answered it, it asked me again which one I wished to use to take them back out.
Alright, hope I don't forget those words. Is there some sort of trick? Taking out one specific thing?
Simply see it in your mind's eye, dear. Imagine the item you wish to withdraw and voice your key phrase. It will manifest in the hand the ring is worn on.
Sounds easy enough as long as I don't forget the words.
Temptingly so. And I know by the way you look and talk about Isaac that you won't betray or trust regarding the ring.
Definitely not, promise.
I know you won't, dear.
Thanks, Maria. Appreciate it.
Your help
Now
in
give
this
me-
little...
What?
Your help in this
Like,
little
give me-
undead snafu makes you pirate by association, Thalia. Any pirate is an ally of mine, and any who serve the code of the pirate lords know to repay such debts. As long as I eventually get the ring back, I'm happy to repay this island's debt to you in such a timely manner.
So in that case, I'm like staring at the ring. Like, can I have it now?
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to keep you waiting. Just let me collect my things.
And as she clears her throat, you hear her say, "Lasau." And several daggers just kind of cascade out of her hand like a little waterfall and rain onto the floor. She picks them up and stores them in her cloak. And then she slowly slides the ring off and sets it in your hand.
Do take good care of it.
Oh, I will. So, do you think that they would notice if a few bottles of rum go missing?
You're a guest of honor, dear. Just ask Reese for the bottles. If you want a few for the road, I'm sure she'll understand. Sympathize, even.
Then I'm going back to the bar. Thanks.
You're welcome, Thalia. I'll have to tell Isaac that you're holding on to the ring, so I'll see you later.
And she gets
So,
up.
I have like the ring of power now because that is
What you've got, and you can add to your inventory, is a ring of vanishing.
I am going to use the shit out of the ring.
I imagine you would. I'm actually very surprised you rolled a nat 20 on that.
Gotta give it back at some point, though.
My box is going in here and nobody's fucking touching my box.
Oh,
Why did you ask her about the box?
it's too late now.
No, it's my box. I don't want anybody touching my box.
You
God
should
forbid they
at
take it
least
away
ask the
from me.
one person who's so magically inclined out of anyone to know what the box is. At least know
And if
what
she
it
takes
is.
it away from me, hell no. She might take it away from me. No. My box.
Okay, so you put the ring on, yes?
Jesus Christ.
This is definitely the one ring but box.
So
my box.
Thalia, you put the ring on,
Yeah, definitely.
and as you
I
do,
already put the...
yeah, just as Mardavir described, you hear a voice in the back of your head asking what word you want to use to put something in the ring.
Can I think of that word later? Like, in
Yeah,
my mind, I've made a word, but I'll think of the word.
yeah. Just for the sake of brevity, we'll say you have a word, and just tell me what it is later.
Make
Yeah.
sure you write that down later.
Yeah, definitely write these down if you're going to be abusing the shit out of this ring.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I put the box in there.
Okay, then you store the box. You actually kind of fucking pulled the rug out from under my feet taking that ring. I was not expecting that.
I'm glad you made a ring that supports my greed.
Yeah, I gave it to the one character that I was pretty damn sure you'd never talk to, and now you have it.
Well, she has to give it
Hey.
back at some point.
Yeah,
Nope.
true. Well, no, I have to give it back to Lee. I don't have to give it back to her.
Well, you still
Yeah,
have
like
to give it back.
as long League is loaning it to Mardavir, who just loaned it to you. So technically, yeah, I guess as long as it finds its way back to
Technically,
one of them, they're not going to mind.
He probably likes me and will let...
Well, okay, so you said you're off to the bar.
Yeah, I'm going back to the bar. They can have their other conversations now.
Okay, then that brings us up to the top of the list. I believe Jura, you were first.
Yes. I will talk to Evalier.
To Evalier, okay. You find her sitting on the side of the room with most of the Navy people, and she's slowly sipping at a drink.
Hey.
Didn't hear you approach, but as soon as you say "a," like kind of Fonzie, like you just did, her right eye almost like cringes, like, "Oh, you did not just address me that way." But she looks up at you regardless, and she sort of lifts her mug to you.
Hello, Jura.
Hello. I wanted to thank you for teaching me the Aura of Bloodlust.
Oh, come in handy, has it?
I use it against the destroyer, and a completely frozen fear.
Impressive. You're a quick study.
I was gonna ask you if you wanted to try it out here, but I don't want to ruin the mood.
You cut out for a second.
Oh, I was gonna ask her if she wanted to try it out against her again, but I didn't want to ruin everyone's mood here.
You want to try the Aura of Bloodlust on everyone here?
No, just against you to see how well I've come since before. But, again, I don't want to ruin the mood. Everyone's in a good party mood today.
Well, then I suppose now would be a perfect time for the second part of the lesson. Localizing your aura.
Interesting.
When you project your aura outward, if you can focus on one specific point, me in this case, then you can attack one singular target with it instead of having it spread out like a wave. It's what I did to you in the lounge, and if I may be so presumptuous, I believe that focusing which way the aura goes makes it more powerful on that one spot, as opposed to spreading it out everywhere.
I can make things die of fear.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but it is significantly more powerful, yes.
I'll have to practice with that, but not here.
Probably best to avoid that.
I take a seat next to her. If she's sitting next to a Navy soldier, I just kind of knock him over.
No, there aren't any enlisted men around her. Like, Navy kind of has a thing where enlisted guys keep to their tables and officers keep to theirs.
So why aren't you mingling with all the pirates?
Well, if I'm being honest, I'm grateful to have Leanne dealt with, and I'm also happy to see my men in such a state of revelry, but I'm afraid I shouldn't outstay my welcome. If word gets out that I was consorting with pirates too much, the Admiral might want to speak with me, and not in the good way.
It'll be fine. Who's
Oh, I'm
tell
aware.
him? No one else here's got any authority.
Well, I've been reprimanded a couple times before, but really it's the pain in the ass of having to sail all the way down to Rowanasta to speak with him.
Rowanester, I'll be heading there at some point myself.
Oh, do try to avoid the Admiral, he's such a headache.
You know how I work.
Yes, I know. You might actually be a bigger headache.
That is quite rude, but...
Oh, I mean that in the best way imaginable.
I don't enjoy your sass, lady, but at the same time, it's quite fun.
She smirks and has another sip of her drink.
Do you agree with the rest of the Navy? This is my only serious question I have for you.
Agree with him how?
Well, I know, from what I know, the other Navy admirals see things differently and do things differently, especially the Admiral.
Each High Commodore has their own way of operating, yes, and I admit, compared to the others, I'm a bit of an odd woman out, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, you're actually nice, from what I hear, compared to the others.
Well, I don't know who told you that, but I am one of the few who's willing to overlook personal differences with, say, pirates, in pursuit of a common goal.
Well, no one told me that, but I thought so, because you taught me things, and you didn't even know who I was.
No, but the enemy of my enemy and all of that, your target was Leanne, same as mine, so your strength was in turn mine for getting rid of her.
Oh yes, we did try to. I did want to save her, but my crew had other plans.
I see.
I did not know if you wanted her alive or not, but I felt that you might have appreciated it a little bit.
Normal targets I would have hoped to have back alive, but to be honest, she was such a relentless pain in the ass, and having to chase her all the way down to Vernal, I'm glad she's dead.
Well, now that's one less thing to worry about.
Agreed.
So when are you heading back to your controlled area?
Just give me a minute, I'm gonna swap headphones real quick.
Alright. How's everyone doing so far? Alright. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nope.
Just wondering how everyone's doing.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good.
I was debating.
Just kind of chilling.
I was debating on who to talk to here because I had two options, but I think I'll work it in later.
Okay, so I got the headset on.
Alright.
So what was your question? You were asking her how long she's gonna stay?
Or no, I was asking her when is she heading back. First.
I imagine once this party's over, my crew will board my ship and we'll be on our way back to Estria.
Well then, we gotta have a big party now before you leave. You gotta actually enjoy. I grab her a big like mug of ale.
Like, big how compared to the one she has.
Like as big as her head at the very least.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And one for myself.
They have
Of
those?
course they do.
Special orders available upon request, remember?
Oh god.
And she looks sort of wide-eyed at the mug and then up at you. You're serious?
I am. And don't you think it might impress League a little bit if you could drink this?
Persuasion with advantage.
Gotta pull up my sheet now.
Told you would need it.
Yeah, haha, you thought you wouldn't need it.
Nope.
Yeah, with an 8, sorry, nothing doing. Well, I highly doubt that, but... What the hell? It is a party, right?
That it is.
Okay, so she takes the mug from you and she starts slowly working at it.
Ah, come on. I'm gonna start, like, let's see, what can I use? What can I use? I'm gonna use performance to see how fast I can chug this thing and compare to her.
Okay.
Oh god.
With a nat 20, you pop open your mouth like one of those trash cans with the foot pedal on it, and you just dump that shit down. And she and pretty much all the Navy people within about 10 feet of you are extremely impressed.
Come on, Evalier, let's keep drinking the night away. This will be our last night for a while till we meet again.
Very well. And let's roll performance for her and see if she can match you.
My goal is to get her drunk here.
She does not excel at that.
She performs still pretty well.
Let me look. I gotta put her thing to the side.
She got a
Yeah,
14.
with a 14, she doesn't do it as like she can't chug the alcohol per se, but she is able to drink it very quickly.
And should we do like some sort of saving throw to see if it makes us drunk?
That would be Constitution,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Then you, since you rolled a nat 20, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, either way,
Oh, what did you?
I got 21.
Oh, yeah, then you're fine. Evalier.
She's okay for right now.
Yep, she's all right.
Slightly tipsy, maybe.
No, not even. I barely
As
did
it's slightly.
anything to her.
And
She's feeling the relaxed feeling that any normal person would have after maybe a shot.
See, you can drink pretty well then, girl.
Well, of course. I wouldn't be able to advance in the Navy if I couldn't.
That's impressive. Well, I have one last thing to say.
And what's that?
Hold on.
Cut up over your words there.
No, hold on. I was getting something.
Hmm.
Depending
So
on what this
how-
roll is. Can I do it? Because she... Ah, damn it. Alright.
with a 4, no, you can. Are you trying to do the
No,
localized?
this is
or-
something else. I was trying to like get a good glare at her to be like show her how serious I am. Apparently, I'm not that serious.
As you go to glare, like you contort your face and you just belch from the mead you were just drinking.
Oh, I apologize. That was quite rude.
And she kind of just
One more time. That's a little better.
a little better, but she's still not overly
Well,
intimidated.
I'm not
like
trying
she
to intimidate her. My point is to get her attention, to make her see eye to eye and show seriousness. That's what I'm trying to do. Is that the right thing?
with
Maybe it's
persuasion,
I'm not-
maybe?
yeah, definitely not intimidation.
Alright.
Yeah, intimidation
That'd be-
seems...
Really, that would probably be the sort of thing you can just say you're doing.
Yeah, well, all right. I don't want
Like
to say.
wearing
I
a
was trying to
serious
show the
expression.
effectiveness of it, though, is what I was trying to do. Basically, I glare at her and say, "One day we will fight."
Oh, then that'll be performance.
Oh. Slightly better.
With a 12, okay, she understands basically what you're trying to do.
It's like it's not like I challenge her in anger. It's like you are my friend, and we will fight in the future.
And she sort of nods, like in a knowing sort of way.
I'll be looking forward to it. Of course, I'm a little outside of your reach now, but when you mature a little bit, I'd be more than happy to take you on.
I extend my hand to her.
She reaches hers out and shakes it.
Until then, my friend.
Agreed.
The best of frenemies.
Not even enemies. It's a respect, honestly, between.
No, I said
two.
frenemies.
I guess.
Yeah, because Evalier wasn't bullshitting. You're a little out of her, or she's a little out of your league right now.
Yes, that's why I'm not
But
challenging her now. Well, that and it's a party. I'm not gonna do that.
You know, I didn't want to use that terminology because now every time I do it, it's going to be like, but I'm Tish or whatever, because I named one of the guys league.
Well, I'll see you later, Evalier. You keep drinking away and enjoy the last day here.
You as well.
And now we'll lead into Deadlock.
Yep.
Let's see, who's left there who has actually worth talking about? Because I'm honestly not
You can
sure
talk
who to go
whoever
after.
you want. You've only talked to
Yeah,
two people.
because, well, Nikit you've already spoken to. You've got Mel, Ayame, Sebastian, Isam, Galena.
You can, and like MJ, you can talk to any one of us.
Yeah, League is going to talk to you later. You've got Soto, Reese, Haas, Davey, Mardavir.
I suppose we'll see Mardavir.
All right. And Mardavir, she has just gotten done talking to League, and she goes back and sits at the table that Thalia found her at.
Should I even ask what that light show about earlier was?
I'm sorry?
She looks up and she just now notices you.
The light show with our Kitsune friend, should I even ask?
Oh, you mean with my staff?
At which she is now holding in her hand.
Yeah, that.
Well, I had a ring that functions very similar to a bag of holding. It's currently on loan to Thalia.
I was about to say had. How did she manage to convince you to give her to just loan that to her?
Well, Isaac trusts her, so I see no reason to distrust her.
I just stare at her legs like wait, just keep repeatedly blanking.
Well, if it makes it more believable, Ogazad, let's just say that if I was betrayed, and I'm not saying she ever would, but if she did, I'm the last person you want following you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because, like, you remember as, like, when you guys first got to League City and you spoke to League the first time, he basically alluded that Mardavir was the person he calls in when shit gets too big for him to handle himself.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's fair enough.
So did you have anything else for? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things. So have you dealt with many Dragonborns before, or dragons in general?
Dragonborn? There are a few that I've dealt with. As for dragons, I'm afraid that number is much smaller.
By smaller, I'm assuming you mean still existent.
Oh, of course, there are several dragons who still exist. My most recent audience was... Well, what do you know about gold dragons?
I think I have to roll a history check for that, don't I?
That's a history for gold dragons, yeah.
You know jack shit.
If only that was advantage.
Yeah, like, as far as you're concerned, gold dragons are, like, the stuff of myth. Like, you haven't even heard of a mortal person speaking to them in the last several centuries.
Can't say I know much.
Well, think of it this way, dear. Gold dragons are to dragonkind what people like you are to mortals.
So, half-breed?
Mages, dear, and
Oh.
very powerful ones.
Hmm.
I thought that was funny.
Gold dragons are, to my knowledge, the only ones that actually go out of their way to learn powerful magic and practice it regularly.
Does that seem strange to you?
Oh, not at all. As a mage myself, I can sympathize with them.
No, not that. They're the only ones that do.
Well, metallic dragons are usually obsessed with other things. Gold dragons are the only one among them that actually care about the magical arts. As for chromatic dragons, well, they're usually too preoccupied causing hell for all other mortals.
So, I'm guessing, where do wyverns fit into this picture?
They're sort of a cousin species to dragons. They broke off several thousand years ago. Same family, but their dragon blood is diluted slightly.
But yet still powerful enough for an entire group of people to just build their civilization.
Oh yes, without question. Especially if we're talking about a more archaic tribal people. They would see a wyvern as a god.
Is it possible to draw power from any of these?
Draw power. What are you talking about?
Well, like, I still have that, like, bone shard with me. It's like, something just does not seem right about it. To me, anyways.
So let's see. So you're holding out the bone shard
Yeah.
that you took?
Yeah.
Would you like me to see?
Yes, please.
And she, just like with the staffs that Thalia gave her, she places her hand on the bone shard, closes her eyes, and you see the sapphire in her forehead glow a little bit, and she kind of jerks her hand back and her eyes open.
It seems that whatever necromantic magic Leanne used to revive the Destroyer had a lasting effect on his remains.
Should I be concerned?
Maybe. It seems like what she's done in order to augment the Destroyer's power was somehow tap into his latent draconic heritage.
Translation?
Basically, she's telling you that the bone is overflowing with draconic energy. Like, pure draconic energy.
How on earth did a necromancer manage that?
Offhand, I would say this is attested less to Leanne and more about the power of specifically the Destroyer himself.
That's just a wyvern that's capable of doing that.
Well, it's not unheard of. There are certain wyverns, same as there are certain dragonborn, who have, let's call it, a stronger tie to their draconic ancestors.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, but like, if this is a wyvern, I can only imagine what those gold dragons are capable of.
Well, gold dragons are usually peaceful. They don't like to involve themselves in the affairs of mortals. In fact, I can't think of a single mortal who's met one in, I don't know, a couple centuries? Besides me, that is.
I was about to say.
Yes, my audience was with... given how much you knew about them, I don't suppose you'd know about their hierarchy. There's a single gold dragon in all of Loviena who rules over all others.
All the gold dragons or all the dragons, period?
Oh no, just gold dragons. I
Okay,
doubt
I thought-
any of the chromatic dragons would like one specific gold dragon ruling over them.
Fair enough.
And I had the privilege of meeting with this particular dragon.
I guess that explains why you understand Draconic so well.
Well, that and my mother taught me.
Still, meeting with pretty much the ruler of an entire species, that's
Oh,
gotta be
yeah.
quite an honor.
Yes, being in the presence of his resplendence was quite humbling.
Basically alluding that his resplendence is the title given to that particular gold dragon.
I don't even know if I would want to meet someone like that. He's just finding it tough with words right now.
Oh, if it makes you feel any better, Lord Xiaoyu was actually very accommodating. He doesn't get many visitors, and dragons, especially metallic dragons, really enjoy it when mortals speak to them.
Yeah, he's feeling like this is a sense of deja vu almost.
How so?
It feels like something he would have done with our nest or something like that. I don't know. I could be mistaken.
What, speaking to Xiao Yu?
Yeah, it just seems like something like. I'm terrible. I apologize. I'm trying to think about it, but can't. Just go on.
Right, as you're going on speaking to her, you have you put the bone back yet?
It's still kind of just sitting on the table for the moment. I suppose he should pocket it now, though, given.
As you go to grab it, you feel a sort of tingling sensation, and you feel the back of your jacket rip.
I was like, wait, what?
And Mardevir's eyes go a little wide, and as she kind of leans to look behind you.
Well, that's interesting.
Okay then.
As you look, and as she's because pretty much everybody in the bar, the music has kind of stopped, and everybody's looking at you right now. You've got a pair of silver draconic wings sprouting from your back.
What the hell, man? That's two things in a row with you.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
I'm not even moving.
No, they just like to everyone in general.
I know.
Persuasion.
That's what Juro would reply.
I don't know. That kind of looks like something. Besides the
Working
fact
on
you
it.
need a new jacket.
I'm
You
just
need
gonna
a new
take
jacket, by the way.
I'm just gonna take
Just
another-
moving on.
AJ, if you're speaking, I can't hear you very loudly.
Oh, sorry.
Does that happen often with Dragonborns, or?
She shakes her head.
No, I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the bone further. That can't be a coincidence.
May I, just for a moment?
And she holds out her hand.
I guess he extends his own as well.
Okay, do you give her the bone? That's what she's asking for.
Yes.
As you do, the wings retract and they go away.
Fascinating. One more time, just for the sake of science.
And she gives the bone back to you.
I just roll my eyes at this and just get.
This time, nothing happens.
So. Huh.
It seems, Okazad, that you are one of those cases that I mentioned. A dragonborn very in touch with your draconic lineage.
Okay, that doesn't explain why it only works sometimes.
My guess would be that because the bone is fragmented, so is that power. Meaning that unless you find some way to harness and master it, it currently isn't under your control.
So basically, they'll only choose to do it whenever they fucking feel like. That's just great.
That seems to be the case. And knowing draconic powers as well as I do, I imagine it would be at the most inopportune of times.
Because of a bloody course.
However, if you do manage to master that power, I would very much like to see it.
Oh, I'm sure you. Of course, the matter will then come to where can I even go to learn something like this? You said yourself you've never seen a case like this before. Where would I even begin to search?
I would begin with probably finding a silver dragon.
I don't suppose you know where I would find one of those?
Most of them live up north, specifically in the northeastern part of Low Vienna. Diaville, Okarthal. There was one who used to live at the summit of Mount Birna, but I don't believe she's there anymore.
Yeah, he's just making a mental note of this and why he hasn't seen them before.
She said northeast. Gordatha is in the northwest.
Oh yeah, west. Got it.
Yeah, so a silver dragon wouldn't typically venture that far west unless they absolutely had to.
That's not going to be something that's so pretty much on the other side of the freaking world. Great.
The hardest part is probably going to be finding one. If you do, I imagine they'd humor you with an audience.
I mean, considering you said to yourself you've never seen something like this before, I imagine it must be a rare occurrence just elsewhere in general.
Yes, I've never heard of a dragonborn that in touch with their lineage. But if that does happen to pan out, and that is the case, that would mean that you have a lot of untapped potential.
Yes, the exploding of water spells in my hand would concur with that.
Well, I look forward to seeing how you progress.
Let's hope it doesn't blow up in my face.
Agreed.
I just grab my tanker and just kind of like go try to go cheers with her.
Oh yeah, she holds up hers and clinks her mug to yours.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to see a Taylor about this.
Oh, you're gonna want to talk to, and
She kind of, like, extending her finger, kind of moves her arm left and right.
over there. You're gonna want to talk to Catherine.
And she points out a tiny, older-looking tabaxi sitting at the bar.
I'll make note of that before we leave.
She runs the clothing store. She's a wizard with a needle and thread.
Duly noted. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done before we have to go.
Yeah, I'll give you guys some time to do some shit tomorrow morning before you head out.
Fair enough. I guess that's pretty much me done. I guess I'll be
Alright.
seeing you around the part of here.
Until next time, Okazad.
And that leaves Charia next.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now who is he gonna talk to?
So homie, if you say me again.
There's no reason to.
No, she already got her piece across to you and hopes she'll listen to at least her idea of reason.
Before this starts, AJ, how's your mic coming?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Much more clearer.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
we-
know what happened, but alright.
Yeah, we definitely got to get you one of those headsets.
I already just ordered one.
Sweet. Okay.
In that case, I guess. So who were the three named Navy characters that we knew about?
There's Evelier Elwood, who is the captain and one of the High Commodores. There is Chief Petty Officer Haas, who is the Centaur, and basically Evelier's muscle. He's one of her attendants, but he's the physically stronger of the two. And then there is Petty Officer Marco Davy, who is her arcane consultant.
You know what? I'm gonna go talk to Miss Elwood.
To Evelier? Alright.
Yeah.
You find her sitting in the same place that Jura found her, still nursing that mug of ale she has.
Jerry is going to slide in the seat next to her and go, I hope that you don't mind if I sit here.
She, like, without setting her mug down, her eyes kind of just wander over to you, and she sets it down.
Hello, Lady Arabith.
How are you doing, Miss Elwood?
I'm doing fairly well. And yourself?
You know, trying to figure out if the people I was sent to work with are good to be captains or not.
I suppose I can understand that. Poor leadership can make or break a crew. You expressed desire before that you wished to speak with me.
Well, yes, seeing as you happen to know more than the regular person. What about my family?
Well, I do get down to Crystal Cape quite often, and while I don't frequent the Underdark, I do hear whispers.
Like what?
Well, I had heard that there was some form of coup, though I'm not entirely up to speed on the specifics. Though your family's name, Arabith, that came up several times. I was under the impression you were all executed.
Well, it turns out when you're in the underdark, you can make someone look like you very easily, and, well, technically we were all executed. Though my tracks, it seems, were not as well covered as I'd hoped.
I see. You might consider an alias.
Surprisingly, even though I did work as an assassin, not always the first thing on my mind. But I suppose I might have to come up with one during this, at least until I can get a power base going.
Permission to speak.
Fuck, it's not my conversation.
I always thought that Charia was just a cover name to begin with.
Nope, that's her name.
Hmm.
That's her name and family name.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that wasn't the cover name.
And there's an actual reason for it.
Alrighty, move on.
Well, to clear up your rumors, my family was declared heretics by one of our rivals, and the rival said something along the lines of they want to help the Navy or surface dwellers or something with something, and had them all executed, and, well, the estate now no longer is owned by my family.
You're talking about wrongful accusation.
That would be the best way to put it. More like deceiving the rest of the matriarchal family that you're not the one that's about to spread a coup.
Gods, I hate politics.
As someone who's had way too much into politics as the family's assassin, or one of them at least, and as the half-blood that some wish to purge, yes, politics are entirely the worst thing ever, but a needed weapon.
Yes, I noticed that when I first spoke to you. How did the rest of those nobles feel about a half-elf living among Underdark nobles?
Oh, well, let's just say I wasn't outside of the tight-knit circle of the matriarch and her family, or those, rather, closest to her. Many did not like.
I suppose I'm not
as you would call,
surprised.
a mutt.
I'm not surprised. Not to offend, but Drow have never been the most open-minded bunch.
No, it's not even that. It's all political maneuvering, because whoever decided that Drows should operate government like this probably got stabbed.
All the more reason that I can't stand politics. I swear, a union between an elf and a human is...
And she kind of, like, for one fleeting moment, you notice her eyes go over to League.
not the strangest thing in the world.
I see you. I know that you have, or rather, I've heard rumors that you are experienced with those matters, but neither here nor there. The Drow, any reason that they can get against you, they will use it, and they will try to burn you down, stab you, assassinate you. So I let them kill someone else instead of me, and I thought I got away.
Sounds like a hellish upbringing.
Oh, you have no idea. But, unfortunately, now I am here on the surface where it's remarkably bright, she says with a level of annoyance.
Well,
But I am not done with the Underdark yet.
well, I am the pursuer of the West. And given that Leanne's death has officially cleared my plate of any pressing matters to attend to, if there is someone who, let's just say, has avoided punishment or retribution, I suppose I wouldn't be opposed to hunting them down for you.
Oh, that would be a long list and possibly involve a war directly with the Underdark, which I don't think the Navy would want.
Now, I suppose, of the many things the Admiral has reprimanded me for, I would rather starting a war not be among them.
Probably would not be the wisest move for a career.
However, Crystal Cape is on my way home, so I could at least put in a word with Captain Bane to keep an ear to the ground.
That would be nice, though I do suppose that I should probably get in contact with him myself at some point, seeing as I'm going to be working with Captain League, or rather under Captain League, for the foreseeable future, at least to get a power base going. Not to use his resources and run, but rather...
To be fair, I should warn you. If you do take that path, the next time we meet, it may not be under such friendly terms.
Oh, of course, but... No offense to the Navy, but the pirates give enough flexibility that allows a plan like this to actually grow to fruition.
No offense taken. I have my beliefs, and you have yours.
Mine probably just involve a lot more bloodshed.
I would imagine so.
But is there anything else you'd like to ask about me, my family, or anything, other rumors you know about of that area?
No, if you're insistent on handling this issue on your own, then I suppose there's not much I can do. However, when you do return to Crystal Cape, and if you're intent on speaking with Captain Bane, tell him that I sent you, and he should at least soften up a little bit.
I'll make sure to do that, but...
I should warn you, as a courtesy, he can be quite a headache.
Trust me, though, I do not aim to be the only one dealing with this at some. Politics, like I said, are a needed weapon, and if I can turn those politics towards the enemy, well, I may be able to pull some... I'm hoping to be able to pull some strings and make sure it's not just...
Well, I wish you all the best with that.
Thank you. Your next round is on me.
That seems to be the path of the course today.
Yes, I saw Jura over here trying to swoon you as he would.
I would say that was more of a challenge to rivalry than a swooning.
To be fair, with him, you can never know if a challenge to rivalry is exactly what he thinks of as trying to go out on a date.
Interesting. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
And with that, Chari actually puts down a gold coin on the counter and walks away.
Alright.
That's her thing.
I'm being
that
suddenly
would be-
attacked.
Yes, I'm
At the same
attacking
time,
you at the base.
He's not wrong.
So, AJ, did you
At
have
the
a
same
second person you wanted
time-
to talk
Oh,
to,
sorry.
or...
Is it really an attack or is it just stating fact?
Anyway.
I didn't really have another person to talk to because that last conversation went way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, no
so
kidding.
I want to just have me like sitting wherever Ayame is, and I'm just kind of like feeding her rum. And we're just having like
Is this?
random conversation.
I'd like
How
to
old
remind...
is she?
I would like to remind you she's 12.
I was about
She's
to
a-
say.
No. She's the kitsune. That age
Okay,
doesn't matter.
actually, let me give you a couple of things. A, she's 12. B, she's a kitsune, which means she is a fey creature. Fey creatures get drunk off of sweet shit, and rum is an alcohol distilled from sugar.
Why do you think I like the rum and I'm a kitsune? I must indulge her.
Oh, you are.
I must teach her the ways.
You are definitely a horrible person.
Can Jiro walk over? Like, I'm gonna let this interaction.
No, Uncle Zada's gonna go to
No, just let her have her.
No. Let's see how this plays out.
I actually
let it be natural.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what happens next.
What are you gonna corrupt this poor girl?
Hells yeah.
Oh no.
Okay,
but we're not actually having like conversation. It's just mindless chatter. So
yeah,
there's no
but
words.
as you're doing that, like before she starts nursing it too much, she holds out a letter to you.
Oh, okay. What's this?
Hermes came back earlier today, but there was another letter from my father. There was one for me, and there was one for you too.
For me? Okay. So I open it up.
Okay, you open the letter, and it reads,
Thalia, it pleases me to learn that you are in good health. Imagine my surprise at learning that you were one of the people that Ayame would cross paths with. I am glad that she's in familiar company, and even more so, my friend, that company is you. I imagine you must have noticed by now, but the Asakami has been completely repaired, and His Majesty has regained the ability to venture to the ancestral plane. He mentioned that he would be the first person he came to, and this was days ago. I'm also pleased to inform you that, should you so choose, you are free to return to Kiriyama. Prince Hikage has claimed responsibility for the incident 5 years ago, and your exile has been lifted. I always knew it was only temporary, but the prince's actions of late have absolved you of any blame. You may return home with a clean slate. Of course, you are under no obligation to return, and if I may be so selfish, I would ask that you continue to look after my daughter. You are a dear friend and a trusted ally, and I sleep soundly knowing she is in your care. Should your travels indeed bring you home, I've been asked to inform you that His Majesty would very much like to speak with you in person. In any case, I wish safe travels to you and your company. Sekia.
So he trusts me with his daughter.
He trusts you with his daughter as you're pouring,
as I'm giving her rum.
Yeah, as you're pouring rum down her gullet.
The irony of it all.
Do not give her any kind of alcohol poisoning yet. She's Jesus.
Okay.
But like you notice that Ayame is starting to sort of sway back and forth on her stool.
Well, for the letter, I'm a little pissed off at just like everything's just suddenly forgiven.
Yeah, because apparently the prince has owned up and said, no, it was me who broke it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he didn't get punished whatsoever. So I don't really want to go back and talk to them right now. So I guess I'm hanging out with Ayame then. And maybe I'll cut her off. Maybe I'll cut her off right now.
As you say that, she kind of throws her hand up with her index finger extended into the air.
One of you motherfuckers bring me some bread!
Oh, this is gold.
Wait, I walk over.
I think this is the time.
Give this child more drink.
I'm laughing and I fall off my chair.
You're all horrible.
Chari is going to notice this and going to go over very slowly and go, how much have you given her to drink?
I'm gonna use a strength to pick up the fallen Kitsune. It's difficult. She's
You fail.
I guess I don't carry it around.
I tried, but she's laughing too hard.
Yeah, she's laughing and wiggling too much for you to get her.
All right, so then I'll just put a rum next to her.
So, how much has the little one drank?
I wasn't counting.
Ayame turns to you.
Not nearly enough!
Ayame, you know what? How about we get something special to drink?
What are you getting at?
I'm going to turn to the bartender and kind of lean over the counter and go, do you have anything that can not cure the imminent hangover, but make it better?
It's Soto behind the bar, and he looks at you, looks at Ayame, and kind of shrugs and goes, Yeah, I mean, I'll see what I can do.
She's Faye. She'll be fine.
Yeah, no, and so I just kind of leave it there, and it's like, don't worry, I just ordered you another special drink. It should make you feel even better.
Well, on that happy note, I believe it's back up top with Jura, and League actually pulls you aside.
Oh, okay.
Jura, I was wondering if you had a minute.
Yeah, I mean, the Kitsune's on the floor, and the other one, the Kitsune child's drunk. I'm good.
He looks over your shoulder at them. They look like they're having fun.
Yeah, I couldn't pick her up because she was laughing too hard.
Huh. Well, I wanted to personally thank you for the service you've done for me and for my island.
No problem. I got this cool hammer that helped me do a lot of shit.
Yeah, Mayer does some pretty good work, doesn't he?
He does. That he does.
Well, that's actually not fair. He and Vizzini both do good work.
Either way, I'm very thankful for the hammer more than anything else.
Of course. We're happy to be of service.
Of course, if you ever need more things broken, just tell me.
Actually, there was something I was hoping you would do.
You need another arm wrestle?
Not at the moment.
Then what can I do
But
for you?
might I ask if you had any travel plans?
Still figuring out. I wanted to go to Romanestor for the arena, but I wouldn't mind helping out some of my crew.
Then in that case, assuming it's fine with the rest of your crew, I'm pretty sure that my fellow pirate lords might actually have some work for you lot.
Depending on where they need me, that'll depend on where we go.
I only have regular correspondence with the other 3 southern lords, and they all dwell on islands east of here.
Well, conveniently, one of the places I need to go is east.
That's true. Rowanastor is east of here. Where
Even
in-
more east than that. Probably more towards where your other lords are.
Where exactly are you trying to go?
The place that Nell was talking about before. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Gengren.
Yes.
So you explain that to him?
Yes.
Where's the
Oh, good. Believe it or not, Gengren is actually one of the places I was talking about.
How convenient. You can kill 2 birds, or who knows what else I got to kill while we're over
much
there.
did you use?
Exactly.
Use all of it.
The pirate lord,
I'm asking
the pirate
you
lord
because
there
it's
is named
what I
Damien
just
Nikos.
found in the dryer. I don't mind laundering them.
MJ,
You know.
MJ, mute your mic.
MJ, yeah, can you mute your mic?
MJ, mute your mic.
I muted him.
Okay. You sure about that?
He's muted on my end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Right click and hit volume. I think I can actually just mute him.
Yeah, there is just a mute box.
Yeah, I server muted him for the time being.
Okay. Anyway, moving back to that. If you do happen to go near Gengren, the pirate lord there is named Damien Nikos.
Damien Nikos. Alright.
And he's always looking for extra hands for whatever odd job he's gotten himself into.
Anything I should know or expect of him?
Among the southern lords, he's one of the more laid back of us.
I could work with that.
And he's one of the only pirates I know whose thievery extends to jobs on dry land as well.
Even better. I can't really swim all that well, from ocean to ocean.
Tell me something, have you ever heard stories of the Red Phantom Thief?
I have not.
Well, history check, see if you know who that is.
Alright, well. I have not.
Nope. Well, I suppose that is why they call him a phantom thief. But bottom line, Nikos is probably one of the best thieves, if not the best, in the entire continent.
Interesting. Well, and then I have 2 possible destinations. You can talk to the rest of the crew and see what they think.
I intend to do just that.
We'll let you know by tomorrow.
I appreciate that.
And he goes to walk. It's Okazad next.
Yep.
Yes.
He walks up to you and like sort of like bids you hello.
Evening.
Hello, Kazad.
Are those two all right over there?
To which two?
The two kitsune.
I believe they'll be fine.
We're still giggling.
I'm still trying to figure out how to pick her up.
As long as they're not doing anything they'll regret.
Nah, kitsune are fey creatures, lad. Similar to elves or centaurs.
Don't
little
really
bit
deal
of-
much with them, wouldn't know.
A little bit of sugar, especially rum, tends to have an effect very similar to very powerful inebriation.
Oh. Was there something you wanted to speak about?
I did. I first wanted to extend some gratitude for your services.
I mean, we were already paid well in advance.
I'm aware.
Not to mention we were pretty much shipwrecked, so we kind of owed you enough already.
I'm aware. But as you recall, assisting me was just an optional thing that you could have done.
I prefer to keep my debts settled.
That's an
You got us
honorable-
back on foot. We might as well just help you out with a few jobs.
Well, that's honorable of you. Either way, my thanks is genuine, and I feel well deserved in this case.
I'm assuming you're not here just to give thanks.
No, if you're interested, I happen to have other lines of work that you could pursue.
Plenty of lines, so many options, what to go.
Well, should you be so inclined, Jura mentioned that he and, I believe, Miss Mel were talking about headed to Gengren Island for one reason or another.
Gangren?
Aye, it's an island to the east of here.
Here.
But if you do happen to find yourself down that way, one of the other pirate lords, a close friend and ally of mine, governs that island.
Well, there's definitely a lot to consider. Definitely, I believe, what was it? Rowan Esther was definitely a big topic for a bunch of us.
Aye, Jared mentioned that too. Something about the arena.
He wanted the arena. I want to figure out why the hell that place went on lockdown. What was it, a week ago?
Aye, it was about that time. Last I heard, Admiral Blackwater's been getting a little paranoid of late.
I don't suppose you would know anything about what's going on down there.
Only thing I can think of is they may have gathered a lead on the Pirate King's artifact.
What the artifact again? Everyone is just so up in their arms about it.
Well, there wouldn't be much of a war if they weren't.
Personally, I've heard so many tales about that thing. Honestly, all I know of is that it's probably best left lost.
Well, the only reason we pirate lords are looking for it just so we can destroy the damn thing.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Unfortunately, with as much word going around, it's hard to pick out the truth from all the rumor and conjecture.
Perhaps that's for the best, if you ask me. For all we know, destroying it could be cataclysmic. For all we know, trying to harness it could be equally as cataclysmic. Perhaps it was always best to just left unknown or just hidden somewhere.
Aye, if only the Admiral thought the same way.
And yet here we are.
Exactly. As long as there's just one person who knows about that artifact and wants to get their hands on it, I'm afraid this war won't be headed towards a speedy conclusion anytime soon.
No, it will not. So many places to go, so many things to do. I'll speak with the rest of the crew and see where we'll be heading out next. Any particular reason you wanted us to head down there, though?
There's the pirate lord there, Captain Nikos. I've heard tell that he's looking for a couple extra hands, and he's been known to reward people pretty handsomely for their help.
Anything in particular you'd like to share?
He doesn't fill me in on the nature of his work. Plausible deniability and all that. But it seems an odd coincidence that around the same time that the Navy's getting all up in arms, we pirate lords seem to have our hands full as well.
Definitely a bit suspicious. Hell, it's part of the reason I'm out here.
Right. Me with my undead issue, Nikos with his various odds and ends, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gar and Giran have their problems too.
I can promise you right now, the North isn't in any better shape.
Arna's not holding up too well, is she?
Things have just been getting more and more crowded up there.
Well, it's been a good 7 years since last I spoke to her. She strikes me as a strong type. I doubt she can handle Well, I trust she can handle pretty much any problem that's slung at her.
Probably, but more activity just means more and more problems.
Of course.
At the end of the day, something's up, and we need to figure out what.
And if I recall her lack of patience as well as I think I do, more problems mean more trouble for her crew as well, trying to run interference for her outbursts.
You don't know the habit. Alrighty, I'll speak with the rest of the crew later. We'll see if we can find the next course of action.
Very good. If you would, please inform me if you come to a decision.
I'll see what I can... After I see a tailor. This.
Of course. You're gonna want Catherine. She's sitting right there.
Yeah, Martivir already pointed that out to me.
Well then, I'll leave you to it.
Hope she's as good as you two say you...
I wouldn't have brought her on if she was anything less.
I aim to find out.
Okay, and he walks off and he approaches Charia next.
We on server mute him.
Oh, why did you mute me?
Because you were talking in the background
Yeah,
with
because you had a bunch of background noise that was very
sorry.
audible.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, no, Charia's just kind of sitting off to the side, kind of away from the rest of the group.
Yeah, League, he sort of leans against the wall next to you. So I see you delivered. Well done.
I try to do my best, and thank you for the praise.
Well, I just mentioned to your captain and to Jura. But if that offer of yours to help the Pirate Lord still stands, there's a few to the east of here who probably wouldn't mind having your services.
She's gonna kind of cock an eyebrow and go, any idea what those services might be, or...
I don't, off the top of my head. My correspondence hasn't been frequent as of late. I know that Captain Nikos always has his jobs going around, but he never informs me of what the hell they actually are. As for Gar and Giran, usually they talk to me fairly regularly, but I've had a almost unsettling lack of communication from them in recent months.
Maybe other pirates are running interference?
That's not the strangest thing. After all, I'm sure you realize that while there are several pirates who follow the leadership of the Pirate Lords, not all of them do.
No, I would not be surprised if there's more than a number that have decided to strike out on their own, feeling the rules just stop the pirates from doing whatever these people think pirates are supposed to do.
It happens a lot more than you'd think. In truth, the Pirate Lord's war is twofold. Part of it is against the Navy's High Commodores, and the other is against those sea bandits who forsake the rules.
Either way, more chum for the water.
That's a top way of seeing it.
Trust me, when you've had the life like mine, a lot of lives look more expendable than they should be, probably.
Well, I've met plenty of people who prefer to fly red. But, since you've already given me this hand with my undead problem, which, as I mentioned to Okazad, you are already under no obligation to do, I'm not going to twist your arm about helping the other lords.
I guess I should probably become more open as to why I seek to help the Pirate Lords.
I figured there was some kind of ulterior motive.
Oh, there is one, but it's not against the Pirate Lords, nor is it even against the Navy.
Well, let's hear it then, lass.
You see, I'm from was from a drow nobility family. Said family no longer exists. Internal betrayal, that kind of stuff, lots of backstabbing, general politics.
Huh. Never was a fan of all that.
Yeah, it sucks, but me being the assassin of, or one of the assassins of said family, and she kind of takes a second before saying mutt of the family, as others like to call me. I am the last one I know that's alive, and seek revenge is a very polite way of putting it. I would rather see their blood coat the entire caverns of the Underdark, but, details.
So you're using revenge as a cover for complete annihilation?
Partially. They used their whatever motives they had for covering up the complete annihilation of my family. So I see that the only fitting punishment is an eye for an eye.
That seems fitting. If that's the code you live by, you might actually make for a decent pirate lord one of these days.
She kind of chuckles and, yeah, but alas, currently, unless I kill one of you, I don't exactly have that position.
Yes, and at present I wouldn't think you had that kind of strength.
Oh no, attempting to fight you, unlike Jura, I am not an idiot when it comes to knowing my battles. That's why I preferred using my silver tongue, as the captain said.
That's a wise trait to have. Though unfortunately, I fear you'd fare even worse against the High Commodores.
It's why I shall not sit by, but avoid trouble.
Tell me, do you know why we haven't engaged in all-out war with the Navy?
I'm going to assume on one level it's because nobody would win.
In a sense, you're not wrong. But mostly it's about deterrence. We don't throw ourselves at the Navy because, frankly, they've got more numbers, they're significantly more organized, and they're pretty damn motivated.
But at the same time, even though you may have less ships, the pirates have a certain flexibility and don't always follow rules very well.
What we have is a very powerful threat. The reason that Admiral Blackwater refuses to attack us is because a long time ago one of the pirate lords had some sort of weapon that took the life of his grandfather, the previous admiral.
So he's afraid of it.
Of course, Blackwater the grandson believes that we still have this weapon.
She kind of chuckles and goes, and I suppose nobody knows if anyone actually has it.
Oh, we still have it. His fears are perfectly founded. But that's the thing that keeps the Navy from openly attacking us. For the last several decades, it's been more a search for leads and a battle of information than actual military strength.
You'd think if you had the weapon, which you guys say you do, that it would basically mean more or less an undeterrable force of pirates with a weapon the highest of the High Commodores fear.
That's about the size of it, aye.
So, now, that does bring up the point of why not start leveraging it harder? Because, no offense, but, a couple of the pirate lords probably, if they had the chance, would leverage it as hard as possible and destroy the Navy's power balance.
I'm sure they would, but there are two things to prevent that. For starters, excuse me, this is more of a personal war. We're not trying to involve all of Loviena in this bloodbath. And second, unlike the High Commodores, who can mobilize and act as a single cohesive unit at the Admiral's say-so, the Pirate Lords are significantly harder to get to work in tandem.
Everyone with their personal goals, I assume?
Exactly. Their own personal goals and their own heap and plate of bullshit to deal with.
And I also assume occasionally the idea of making sure the power balance between the Pirate Lords doesn't fall out of sync.
Well, the power balance is about as It's about the same now as it's always been. I mean, Shem doesn't speak to everyone often, but when he does, we tend to listen.
No, just, it's... If you did go to war with them, and any one of the pirate lords were to get into a bad fight and such, and lose a good chunk of their power base, it would throw the balance a little out, and wouldn't be surprised if there might be even infighting. No offense to you, of course, but some of the other ones I hear stories of. Some of the other stories I hear about the others, especially that one from the north that Okazan knows very well.
Arnes, oi. A bit of a mercurial one, she is.
I wouldn't be surprised if she would be the first one to turn her blade against the other pirate lords.
Believe it or not, she'd actually be one of the last.
From the stories I've heard, she seems very fickle in her interests.
She tends to be a little mercurial, oi. But her shallow loyalties are mere stories, some of them propagated by Arnes herself. In truth, despite the fact that a lot of us bicker from time to time, if things got too bad and we were in a situation where war was inevitable, it might take some convincing, but the pirate lords would band together.
Though, hopefully whatever this excitement is between the Navy and you eventually all ends at some point.
Aye. I'll be looking to find out what all this excitement is on my end. If I find anything out, I'll send Hermes in your direction.
And I'll make sure I see if... Though, I'll make sure to... Well, keep an ear out to the ground myself. Worst comes to worst, I'll try to get word through the other pirate lords to you somehow.
I'm sure they'll find a way.
Though, I do worry about that Okazad.
About what?
Just say, I worry about that Okazad. Not sure if he's fit enough to be captain, but I'll keep prodding and poking him to see if he is ready or not.
Well, not everyone's born great.
No, but some overcome that and become great.
Aye. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how all that goes.
If that's all you need from me, I shall be enjoying my mug and possibly going to check out Big Lou's to see if he's figured out the crystal. If it's worth anything.
Ah, that's fair. I'll leave you to it then.
Cheers.
And cheers to you. And he gets up and leaves. So, Thalia, are you done chuckling on the floor?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, hold on. I have Thalia leaks coming.
Oh, well, you know I'm definitely done chuckling on the floor if League's coming.
Yeah, like you see him coming towards you.
Then I smile and wag my tails.
Thalia, do you have a moment?
For you, all the moments. And I drape myself onto his arm.
He smiles like he has before. I wanted to thank you for helping me with the undead problem.
Well, I didn't really help. I didn't really do much besides drop a rock. It was a very pretty rock, though.
Yes, I heard. And I commend your sense of strategy. Avoiding a fight with someone like Leanne was very smart.
You're not upset I squished her like a bug? Everyone else seems to be. Honestly, I thought she'd see it and, get out of the way.
It's true that I normally prefer our enemies be taken alive for questioning. But in Leanne's case, there was nothing to ask. She had become far too dangerous, and eliminating her was the better and safer choice, I think.
I don't really have anything to say to that, so I'm just gonna be giddy and smile at him.
You've done a great service to me and my crew. If there's anything you need from me, don't hesitate to ask.
Oh, really? Okay. Then I inch closer to him, run my nails up and down his arm, and basically say, if you need anything, Please just ask.
And as he's looking down at you, like he's very clearly catching the mood. Is that offer of yours from before you last left still on the table?
For you, always on the table.
Okay, then, fuck, yeah, I guess you lead the Pirate Lord upstairs.
Yes! Score!
Oh my lord.
Yes, congratulations, you just scored with a Pirate Lord.
Can I glare and, like, flip the bird to Evelier as I walk away with him?
Oh.
I can't. I
Yeah,
feel
sure,
like this is
fuck it, yeah, go for that.
She about to follow
Yes!
you up.
this
You
is.
better hope I got her drunk enough not to follow you.
No, she, like, as she looks up from her mug, like, there's this look of, like, what the fuck shock is on her face.
Yes! All the
And-
triumph right now.
And League does not seem to notice.
Of course he doesn't. I am far more important than that bitch.
I feel like this is going to cause party problems later. Several
Absolutely.
months down the road, Evelier pulls over our boat and goes, "Oh, you're here." And then suddenly, you know, AJ's character just goes over the side of the ship.
She can try.
She will most likely succeed if anything we've been hearing about lately is anything to go by.
Later on, this is the moment.
Yeah, like, in the moment, she's not doing anything, and,
Probably
like,
a little
you're...
too inebriated thanks to the alcohol we've given her.
Oh, she's surprised, don't get me wrong, like, she's very aghast at what she just saw, but there's not really anything she can do about it. Because at the same time, she also kind of lost her shot. Like, now that she's a High Commodore and League is no longer in the Navy, she can't exactly fraternize with him the way she wants to.
But I can.
Yes, you can, and apparently you have.
And he is now mine. For now.
Anyway,
Okay. Yeah. So I guess,
After a set amount of time,
yeah, so I guess the party keeps going, like, early on into the morning. And I guess you guys can, like, sleep if you want to, but it's not necessary.
We're gonna have a long voyage ahead of us either way. I think we want some rest.
Well, Thalia is definitely not sleeping tonight.
No.
Well, no, I think she is just with someone to cuddle with.
I don't think any of us are sleeping because we're gonna be hearing that.
Do.
Luckily, I can. Luckily, elves technically don't have to sleep. They just have to go into a trance for a couple
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, you have that
Peer
trance
through the window,
thing.
you creep.
What? I promise I have not set up a video recording scrying orb for later use.
No, you're not.
I don't actually have that spell right now, so they're safe.
That ability.
Yeah, you do not have the spell, nor do you have the scrying orb.
For
You
now.
wish you did, though.
I mean, there is plenty of reason to possibly start a porting.
Anyway.
Okay, so,
as
yeah,
that's going on upstairs,
Yeah, Okazat and Jura, you guys managed to get some sleep. Charya, you go into your sleep trance. And Thalia, you don't sleep because you're up all night sexing League.
Damn right.
you
Okay,
get to
so-
talk to you what he wants to talk about.
He doesn't need to have that conversation.
It's not important.
It's more important things.